All right, welcome back to The Drive, hour number 2 of the show. Jim Churchill along with Mark Paulette. I am coming to you, Jim Churchill, coming to you from Freshies on Outer Hammond Street in Bangor, 1105 Hammond Street. UMaine Athletics event here today. Coach Amy Vachon roaming around, Coach Ben Barr roaming around. We have some Maine women's basketball players here as well. We got a prize wheel. People have been winning all kinds of prizes. Got UMaine flags, got Portland Sea Dogs tickets. We got a Bare Necessities fan shop prize. They got rally towels here. Also have some Maine basketball pint glasses, pair of women's ice hockey tickets, and they have entries into the men's hockey VIP raffle. Also Maine women's basketball tickets as well. So if you're in the vicinity, stop on out. We'll be here until 6 o'clock this afternoon, and we've had a lot of folks here, a lot of winning, and just good to see a lot of fans coming out in support of UMaine Athletics, and Coach Amy Vachon, Coach Ben Barr have had a good time interacting with those fans who have shown up here this afternoon. Well, Mark, you are back in the air-conditioned. I'm in the shade here. I can't complain. I'm under the Black Bears canopy, and I position myself to the east end of that canopy, so I am still enjoying, even though the sun is setting in front of me, I am still enjoying the shade here under the canopy, and I also have the benefit of the large canopy over the gas pumps here at the new Freshies. That's also helping the situation as well, but you were in relative air-conditioned comfort there in the Greenway Equipment Studios.
Yeah, relative. It's seeping out. I mean, we got AC after like a decade of not having it, so I got to take whatever's coming out of there.
Yeah, there were trying times there.
It's been some hot summers in here.
Yes, indeed. The Drive brought to you in part by Uno Pizzeria and Grill, where they have late-night deals every night in the bar or lounge, 9 p.m. to close. Enjoy $6 apps, $5 cheeseburgers, or $5 indie cheese or pepperoni deep dish pizzas at 725 Stillwater Avenue in Bangor. Order to go at 947-5000 or at unos.com. So I heard Jaylen Brown there. Who is he talking with, Mark?
So that man's name is iShowSpeed. He's one of these streaming superstars, like bigger than most Hollywood stars or anything out there. Yeah, this is...
I've never heard.
No, exactly. I wouldn't have, other than just seeing him run in like with athletes and sports people in the past, but... But
if I was on social media, I would not be able to miss him.
Yes, correct. Because this is the new wave of streamers. He's one of the top streamers out there where I don't understand it, but people just like to tune in and watch famous people or people with a bunch of follows or likes just kind of ramble endlessly. You're just tuning in to hear them say whatever you want to say. Jaylen Brown's trying to get big into this. He's actually signed up for Streamer University, which is hosted by Kai Cenat, another streamer who has like hundreds of millions of followers. So Jaylen Brown wants to get into this. He wants to be able to speak his voice directly to the people, have them hear it uninterrupted. They were at the World Cup yesterday in Foxborough, and that's where he said he got packed up and shipped out. Sayonara.
Wow.
No loyalty in basketball, but I would argue that they made him the richest man in the history of the game, so that's kind of loyal.
So I would agree and disagree with part of what he said there. There is no loyalty in basketball. Now, I guess I'd say there's no loyalty. There is some loyalty, but there's not a lot. It comes down to the bottom line with many of these owners. They'll say they want to win, but if they lose and they make a lot of money, they'll be perfectly fine with that. And in this case, obviously, I'm very disappointed that Jaylen Brown, who was drafted by the Celtics, third in the draft and had a great career. I'm sad that he's moving on. He's outspoken, so people have a problem oftentimes with what he says, but you have to appreciate. We always say, "Oh, yeah, I don't believe what that guy just said," or "I don't believe this," or "He's just saying what people want to hear."
At least he's telling it to us.
Yeah, I mean, he's speaking from the heart. You may not like what he says, but he's telling you exactly how he feels. The part I disagree with is you don't want to be a basketball player because he's a very, very rich man, and he's going to be even richer before his time is done. And if he becomes, Mark, one of those streaming success stories, then he'll be even richer.
Yeah, he will be, because those guys are frankly, probably making as much as him right now. And that's with Jaylen Brown making $60+ million in salary per year. Like, that's the money involved in that upper level of the streaming world is just insanity and ridiculous. But, I mean, Jaylen, what he's saying there, yeah, there's no loyalty. I get what you're saying, too. But the Celtics did give him that contract, which screwed themselves over in the long run here because, I mean, at this point, after a week or so of digesting it and seeing what happened, I think it's pretty clear that Brad Stevens used last year or attempted to use last year as sort of a pump and dump with Jaylen Brown. Like, get the most value out of him as possible, show that he can be a second-team All-NBA player that can lead a team of his own. He just didn't realize that no one else in the NBA viewed his contract as an albatross that they didn't want to touch for the production they get with it.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, what'd you call it, a pump and dump?
Yeah, like you see on. That's
so those are good if you get a
good return out of it. It fell flat.
But that was
he
it was a dump,
and then he dumped it in the end.
Yeah. So yeah, just disappointing with how it ended. And I mean, Jaylen Brown every year, I would say for at least the last 5 or 6, he may have been learning, you know, his ways in the first 3 or 4 years of his career. But I would say over the last 5 or 6, people have found deficiencies in his game, and he has taken it to heart, and he's had a chip on his shoulder, and he's been highly motivated, Mark. This year, he is going to be off the charts motivated.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the Sixers should benefit. The Sixers should benefit from all of it.
Well, he'll be out there with Maxey and Edgecombe for all the nights that Embiid will be taken off, so that will certainly help them. I mean, with the trade,
he's used to carrying a team.
With the trade, effectively, I see Philadelphia and the Celtics swapping spots in the Eastern Conference. Like, Philly jumps up to top 3, Celtics drop down to 6, or fighting for their playoff play-in lives.
Yeah, I mean, I can still see them at, you know, in that 6 to 8 range. But if they're higher than that, I'll be surprised because a lot of teams, including the Sixers, in the Eastern Conference, have improved or they're getting players back healthy. You know, you can look at Indiana in that case, and you know, there's some up and coming young teams that maybe even 1 or 2 of them disappointed last year, but they could rebound and get back on track.
But I'm
in ascending. But
what I'm curious to see is who becomes the next Jaylen Brown, because that's all we've heard since the trade, right? That Brad Stevens and the Celtics were trying to get out in front of this because you just can't have 2 players making 70% of the cap moving forward with the new CBA the way it is. Shouldn't a bunch of other teams run into the same issue that the Celtics just did, though, where they're trying to maximize their contention window? You can go over the cap with bird rights and everything else in the NBA to sign your own players at even more money than they'd be able to receive on the open market. So who's the next Jaylen Brown out there that is putting up huge numbers, but nobody in the NBA wants to touch him with a 10-foot pole because maybe he just takes a few too many shots for the production versus dollar amount equation?
Yeah, this is not the same type scenario, but I heard a discussion earlier today about the situation in Denver with Jokic, and they're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place too, with some big salaries, and you know, would they ever think of possibly trading Jokic? I mean, it would bring back a Supreme Hall, you would expect, and for a team, you know, I'm not dreaming about it with the Celtics, but there's a lot of teams out there. You put him with a young team, one of those up-and-coming teams that I was talking about, and put him in the mix there to kind of be the centerpiece and the guy who's been there and done that, and he just sets a great example with his style of play, the way he plays the game, and for a young team to add him to that, and a team that has a lot of draft picks, you know, and it might make a lot of sense, but obviously to the fans of the Nuggets, it would be devastating.
Hey, if that's the next move to all this, it would certainly make the Jaylen Brown trade a little more palatable. If in
if that was
27, 28, or whatever is the case, we end up with the Joker.
So, who has the potential to be the next Jaylen Brown on the Celtics?
I don't think anybody, because that's doing a disservice to the decade that Jaylen just turned in.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe not being to his level, but
there's been a lot
of solid, not even a 1A, but a 2.
There's been a lot of basketball minds.
I don't think they have it now.
A lot of basketball minds out there pointing to Peyton Pritchard and saying, if you look at his numbers with Jaylen Brown off the court versus Jaylen Brown on the court, they spike. Like, he turns into a 25-point-per-game scorer. He's got a bunch of assists to go with it, but he's still he's a 6-foot ball handler. Like, Jalen Brunson is one thing, but to expect Peyton Pritchard to turn into Jalen Brunson is asking a whole awful lot.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way he plays and what he brings to the table, but I don't know if he's ready for that, not even close to that number 2 role. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. He's proven people wrong many, many times. We'll see if he can do it again. I'm not saying now, but 3 or 4 years from now, do you think the guy I think of is Ugo, the guy they wouldn't trade to the Bucks?
I see Ugo as becoming like a really low-scoring triple-double threat, if that makes sense. He's a guy that's going to average like 13 to 15 points per game, but he's going to have 8 rebounds and 7 assists if he has a starting role every night. Because while he hit a decent amount of threes last year, he's really not a great shooter. He struggles at free throw shooting as well, which is always kind of something to look at of whether a guy will become a better shooter. I don't know. I kind of see him as hanging out in that low to mid-teens area, but doing everything else on the basketball court.
All right, we got to take a break here. We're going to check in briefly with Amy Vachon, UMaine women's basketball coach once again. We'll check in with Maine hockey coach Ben Barr once again, as well as the fans continue to show up here at Freshies, 1105 Hammond Street in Bangor, Outer Hammond Street. So if you are close by, stop on out. You could win a nice prize here. Still got those whoopie pies. They're hanging in there, and they just brought some fresh ones out. So we got that going on. And check out this new Freshies location here on Outer Hammond Street in Bangor. It is, it is very convenient, Mark, because it's got just about everything you would need if you're on the road. All right, so we will step aside, be right back with Amy Vachon right after this on The Drive. That's our cue, girls.
All right, we're good.
Jim Churchill back here at Freshies on Outer Hammond Street in Bangor, 1105 Hammond Street, as The Drive rolls on. A special UMaine Athletics event here at Freshies. Got a young man, just spun the prize wheel, and he gets a pair of women's ice hockey tickets. And we've had a lot of winning going on here this afternoon at Freshies. And in the first hour of the program, we had a chance to talk with Amy Vachon. It went so well, we brought her back.
Yeah.
For another
and I brought backup, too. I brought backup.
Yes, we have 1 and 1A, Maddie Fitzpatrick, joining us out of Cumberland, Maine, and Cheverus High School. Maddie, good afternoon to you.
Hi.
One thing
Hi.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. It's my first time on the radio.
You got to break the ice.
I know, just let me ease into it a little bit.
Now that we've got that out of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
You can really pick it up from this point.
Yeah, for sure.
So, just as a long-standing, great relationship between Maine women's basketball and their fans. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that sometimes we see around the games and whatnot, but there's a lot of other things that go on. And just so we'll start with Maddie, because she has broken the ice. She's ready to roll.
She's ready to go.
Just talk about that interaction, that relationship with Maine women's basketball and the fans of the Black Bears.
Yeah, it's really special. I mean, we have stuff like this at Freshies, which are really nice to see people, but even just like small interactions, like at the grocery store, the gas station, where you say hi and see people you always see at the games. And, you know, we work hard because we want to win, but we also want to do right by our fans and make them proud of Maine and everything. So it's great.
So growing up, just what did you know about? Obviously, you knew more once you get into high school, but as a little girl who liked playing basketball, what did you know about UMaine women's basketball? And how did that inspire you?
She's a Southern Maine girl. You know. They always say 95 is uphill going to Orono and downhill going to Portland.
Okay, I've heard so much of this. If I gotta be honest, I didn't follow Maine that much. My babysitter went to UNH, so we kind of
there you go.
There you go.
Wow.
I know, but
hey, we turned her. We turned her.
Like, I can say this now because, like, here I am with you guys, like, you know. But I think just watching any college sports, especially like the women's, inspired me, showed me that I could do that and stuff. And I think, especially with my teammates, when we talk about it, we feel like we can do that for the younger generation, especially at these little like meet and greets.
Yep.
So.
And from your standpoint, Coach, obviously there's a lot of youngsters that show up to your games, young little girls and boys who aspire to be basketball players at a higher level, and obviously you've had some camps. Have you had your camps yet?
In a couple weeks. We have one, yeah.
But just talk about, you as the leader, the flagship university here in the state, and you the leader of the women's basketball program, what that kind of enthusiasm and development over the years means to you.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, and I think we have such great young women in our program, and so it's easy for the youngsters, girls or boys, to look up to our players. They do it in the classroom, they do it on the court, they do it in the community, and so to see their eyes light up when they see our players and our players know their name, or even give them a high five, like that makes their day. And it's nice when that can happen, and that the players they're looking up to are good humans,
right.
And so that makes it just that much better.
So how has the UMaine experience been for you, Maddie?
Oh,
there's been some ups and downs.
For sure, but it's not good without its bad times. So, I mean, it's been great overall. I've been really lucky with the coaches and my teammates and just the community around here in general. I've just been really lucky, so it's been great.
Your outlook, your anticipation, your excitement for the upcoming season?
I'm really excited. I mean, we lost some big pieces from last year, but we have a good group coming back and some really good pieces coming in. So we'll see what happens this summer and preseason, but I think you guys should be excited. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And just your thoughts on this young lady right here and what you can see in her future.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Maddie. I mean, it's tough coming in as a freshman anyway, and then to go down with such a significant injury so early when you're trying to transition to college in general, and then you add that on top of it, it can be tough. And so last year was really her first year, and it's like a freshman again, and it's hard, and so I thought she was great. I thought she improved a lot. I mean, not everyone doesn't see what goes on behind the scenes and in practices and stuff, but she's improved a lot. She's come back. We had our first week of tryouts. Not trying out.
Oh my God. Bad news or something.
My bad.
Back to Portland.
I know, yeah, literally.
Our first week of workouts, and she's looked great, so I'm just excited for her. She's feeling more comfortable and just excited to see what she can do this year.
What was the hardest part, the mental or the physical?
Oh, boy, it's hot in the pit. It's really hot in the pit in the summer. But, I mean, what do you mean?
The injury.
Oh.
It is hot in the pit, though.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't really correlate, but okay. Oh, boy. I don't know. I mean, it's just hard. Like, you play basketball every day for however many years, and you want to prove yourself and be a part of something, and it can kind of feel like it's all taken away in a second. But with all that negative, you see, that you need to appreciate everything in the moment, because it can get taken away. So I think overall my outlook has been improved.
That's good.
So,
That's good. All right. Well, good luck to you and your comeback.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Helping the Black Bears win another American East title. Coach, we appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having us.
And
appreciate it.
I know I'm not Brian Sullivan. But
I mean, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
All right. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Maddie Fitzpatrick and Coach Amy Vachon joining us here at Freshies, Outer Hammond Street in Bangor. And again, still plenty of time to get here and win some prizes and enjoy all the great things here at Freshies, again on Outer Hammond Street in Bangor. All right, we will take another time out here. We're going to be joined by Ben Barr briefly once again as well. We've also got some Sox props coming your way and the drive poll. Looking forward to that right here on the drive. All right, we are back here at Freshies. Jim Churchill here on Outer Hammond Street in Bangor. Mark Paulette is back in the Greenway Equipment Studios, and we have some guests back with us. Ben Barr making his second appearance of the day, back by popular demand, I heard, and he has brought a friend, Chris Richards, Director of Admissions at the University of Maine. Wow. How long have you been there? Hold on, Chris. I can't. There you go.
You can't hear me?
Now
we can hear me now.
Now we can.
So I've technically been at Maine since the fall of '06 when I showed up as a freshman on campus.
Okay, wow.
And so, and worked in the admissions office while I was a student.
No
and
kidding.
Been there, yeah. But I've been in the director or VPEM seat in the admissions office for 11 years now.
Talk about that story right there.
Yeah.
Working there as a student and
Yeah.
ends up right in the big seat.
Yes.
And you were talking about your truck over there.
Yeah.
And a very interesting license plate that gets maybe not so positive a response when you're driving through the Granite State.
Yeah, beat New Hampshire, beat NH. So anyone sees a UMaine plate with that, just wave.
Yeah.
Very popular around here.
Yes, I'm sure it is here. Not so much in New Hampshire. So you said Chris basically he makes the ship sail very smoothly.
He does. Unfortunately, he really only has to probably hear from us when there's a problem, because then
Right.
he has to fix
Oh
things.
no, it's Barr again.
But yeah, but he is. He has been phenomenal for us, and just because there's a lot of things that go into the admission side of things, especially with international admissions and some of those changing rules and challenges. So he's. Plus, we've seen him at the Elf Fund most weekends.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's,
Causing trouble.
Absolutely.
Very passionate season ticket holder.
Yeah.
I bet. I can tell.
And his daughter was on the ice with Brooks and me last night. So
Yeah.
his
No
daughter,
kidding.
Ella, so it was good.
Yeah.
So you guys have been around the UMaine. You've been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, you've been around, and when you came here. Things were tight. Let's face it. Things were tight. The Alphons, obviously, the Alphon Foundation stepped up. Many other supporters have stepped up. The transformation from when you got here, and obviously you've seen it all over the years, Chris, but it's monumental, and it's very impactful when you're at the top of Alphon Stadium and you look behind you or behind the stadium at Alphon Arena and look down on Alphon Arena and you look across all the new facilities. Just talk about the momentum and the feel in the athletic department and just kind of the feel amongst the coaches with all this positivity.
Yeah, well, there's a ton of construction going. I mean, obviously we have
Still
the basketball,
going. Right?
And,
That'll be the crown.
Yeah, that'll be really. And when you go up, I run the stairs in the football stadium almost every day, and you go up and you look and you can see it coming together from over there. So it's kind of cool. So, yeah, we're really fortunate to, have, the Alphon and the foundation, and obviously none of that happens without them. And we had some of our players came back this week, and a lot of them the new guys. A lot of them have never been. So they see the videos and whatever, and it doesn't until and then they walk in. You can just see their eyes. They're like, that's really cool, and they haven't seen it obviously in a game night or anything yet. So that's one thing that's really unique to now with the improvements. So you have the modernization of locker room facilities and stuff, but you still have that old feel. It's a really special thing.
Yeah. I was going to games in that arena when I don't know how many rows. There wasn't many. It might have been 10. Jack Semler was the coach, and obviously things were. That was those were the starting blocks right there for UMaine hockey.
Yeah.
But obviously a number of tremendous names. The Tortorellas came through there, and then obviously many, many more. How much do you talk about that history with some of the young men that you talk about in your recruits to this program?
Well, you see it. It's everywhere now in our the branding in the lobby, in the locker room, in the lounge. Mm-hmm. So you see a lot of it, and you can't help but see it. We talk about it. It's not. You try not to get too bogged down in it, though, because that can be a negative. And not a negative.
A lot of these young people not really into history.
Well,
they're about the here and now in the next 24 hours.
I thought I was young, until about 8 years ago when we had this guy, and now I feel I still view myself, and I'm like, well, yeah, none of these guys have any idea. Most of our players weren't born when, the Paul Correas and the Eric Weinriches, and, so obviously they've heard the name and that kind of stuff. So it's cool when you see them, but they did a really good job with that new Hall of Fame area and everything.
Just a little reminder.
So they walk around and they see it, and it maybe means a little bit more to them than just the name maybe coming in. So it's I think they've blended that stuff pretty well.
So when you were a student at University of Maine, Chris Richards, by the way, Director of Admissions, maybe some of those moments while you were a student we can't talk about here on air, but when it came to UMaine hockey, when did that passion start?
Honestly, I can remember my senior year of high school watching us playing in the Frozen Four on TV. So my old man played hockey at the University of Southern Maine, so we grew up like, I didn't play. We just didn't have access to it in our area, but hockey's been like our family sport forever. And so coming to UMaine, that was something you looked forward to.
Yep.
And, there's some traditions that, haven't changed. And one of them is, like, for us in admissions, we use athletics as a major recruitment tool to this day for the institution as a whole. Mm-hmm. So we'll host accepted student days and proactively harness some capacity to bring some prospective students and families to games, whether that be women's basketball, men's hockey, whatever, football. And so it's a key piece of the culture now, and it kind of always has been. But, like, I can remember my time as an undergrad waiting in line almost a day ahead of time to get into a UNH game, like freezing through the night. It was part of it. It's part of the culture, It's not a burden. Ben Bishop was our goalie, like, my freshman year, you know what I mean? And so it really was magical to see it filled and packed and that type of thing. And it really kind of now I have a little better view in my seats now. It really does. The brass band play, and it feels like that still. I go in there, and Coach, I got to say, we aren't getting any older. We're just gaining more experience. That's the saying I say. So you're still a young man.
As the oldest person here, I'm going to start using that.
We're not getting any older, Amy. We're just more experienced.
Wow.
I like that.
All right. We're going to get to our drive poll here, and while you guys are here, I'll have you participate. But first, we've talked over the years, Jack Cosgrove, other coaches over the years, they would say, we just got to get them on campus. We just got to get people on campus. It's little Orono, Maine, in the furthest outpost in the Northeast. I just talked about young people and how they're living in the here and the now, and, Boston is just to the south. I mean, how often do you run into that small town, big city bright lights thing?
Yeah, we
or do you focus on people that maybe are more
try
small
not,
townish?
Like Boston isn't a big recruiting area for us. We will know when an Owen Fowler wants to come. Like, it just kind of happens that way.
Yep.
Like he's a near Boston kid, and he started at Lowell and transferred up here, and this has been the perfect thing for him. So I guess you just try to find the ones that's right for some kids. This is the last place they'd ever want to be. But for the right ones, it's the place they never want to leave. They'd stay here forever. And that's probably what we're trying to figure out again. Where last year, now you're in this world where you're paying players to come places and stuff. So you've lost that a little bit. I think we have to get back to just finding the right people that want to be here and want to be part of all that stuff that Chris was talking about, and all the stuff that we know is so special about our program, and hopefully that's enough to get us to the place we want to be. And we've been close a few times, we haven't got there. Maybe it's a little different how you go about that now, and the last couple of years all these rule changes, but I don't think that'll ever change for us.
Mark's going to get mad at me because we're running a little bit late here. We're going to get to the drive poll.
Yeah.
Now I lose my train of thought after all that. Mark, give me the drive poll, and maybe I'll find it again.
Try to jog your memory here. Drive poll today. I said earlier this was actually Aaron who said it in passing on a show earlier this week, and I thought, that makes a good drive poll. What do you see happening first? U.S. men's team winning a World Cup, or another country overtaking U.S. men's basketball as the best national basketball team in the world? Or you don't see either happening. 64% see the basketball thing happening, 35% see nothing happening, which means 0% for U.S. bringing home the World Cup.
Ooh. Well, wow.
Can't say I would disagree.
We can't say I disagree.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah,
I think I'm with the majority on that one as well.
It would be cool to see them win a World Cup.
It would be.
That would
be
unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah, I think people got a little diluted this year just based upon their earlier competition.
Yeah.
And then they faced kind of a real team and got their comeuppance. But we'll see. We'll see. Brooks, maybe when Brooks,
Brooks, you want to play in the World Cup?
Another dozen years.
Yeah, whatever.
Brooks is there.
Yeah. He's not
leading the
impressed.
way. Yeah, I think Brooks has been a major force here when it comes to selfies. Oh my Lord, you're getting our picture taking again here.
Yeah, there we go.
Didn't want to talk on air. I think he was just singing. I think he was just
living his own
grooving
world.
to this
Yeah,
song.
They know how to use the phones and the iPads better than we do. So it make sure he's not watching anything bad or whatever. So he's doing all right.
Hey, Chris, thanks for taking some time.
Thank you.
Great
very
to have
much.
you here. Nice
Yes.
to meet you.
Absolutely.
Good luck with those admissions.
Yes, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Ben, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
Have a great summer, and
You too.
We'll look forward to a great fall and winter.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.